Now, we had an officer, and if you know, you know, right? He used to work at Long Bay. He was an activity officer, and he was pretty putrid. But listen, he was part of the squad. Um, he was an activity officer at the Bay. I'm not going to mention his name. If you've been to Long Bay, you will know who I'm talking about, right? So what he used to do was a shoebox, $5,000, right? Then he'll bring that shoebox through on an activity buy-up, and then he'll call you up, and you would come back from the Oval where you get all your activity purchases from with that shoebox. Perfect. You know what I mean? There's a pair of shoes in there, your order's in there, done. But what he started doing was, if he didn't like you, he would take your money, then tell the squad that he has reason to believe you've got own phase Ugdrays in your cell, and he'll send the squad in. Bulu, no way, lad. He will then send the squad in to ramp your cell and then find it and take it, right? Well, one day there was a Waitangi Day on, and he was an Islander officer, and he flooded the jail through the food and through like all the people coming in, and he flooded it, right? And there was massive orders. So what happened is, obviously the jail started talking, and that all come through, and that was fine. But the next order to come through, the police and his own squad members were waiting for him to pull up at Long Bay. And when he did, they grabbed him at his car, and they found a car full of Ugdrays and like mobile phones and everything else wrapped up. That was another officer that had like a big like distribution center from a prison for traffic and drugs. Another form of corruption was just like officers that aren't doing it on a big level, but are persuaded by money. They bring in the own phase, and what they used to do was they used to bring in like fake cans, and the fake cans, and you bang, it's weighed up the same. They'll put that in their clear bag. They'll walk through, and you'll get your Ugdrays like that. Corruption for getting inmates bashed and stabbed. They would throw people in the wrong yards purposely. They would put people in the wrong wings purposely. They would put people in a holding cell with somebody else purposely and walk away. That's another form of corruption. Like even with like heaps of like there's plenty of sexual encounters with like female psychs, female officers, and all that kind of stuff in men's prison. That's bigger than you actually know. Like the interaction between inmates and female officers happens way more than anybody knows about. Like it's actually crazy. My cousin Kizza, he got tipped from Kempsey and went to Supermax for having a relationship with a triathlete officer. Her name was Jody. They had a relationship for like 3 or 4 months, like a full relationship. He got tipped, went to Supermax. She lost her job. Guy Staines, I think he passed away now, but Guy Staines, he married a psychologist that he met in jail. He married her over the phone whilst in Supermax. She left her job and started visiting Guy. I had relations with a psychologist, Amy, at Silverwater and Long Bay. So like it happens regularly, and that's another form of corruption, because then we use that against them to bring in like own phase Ugdrays. You've already gone this far, you've already done this. If you're going to lose your job either way, you might as well do this, rah, rah, rah. And then they are forced, or not forced, but they start to break other laws, because you've already broke one, you might as well break the rest. Either way, you're losing your job. If we get caught doing this, why not make money? Like if you do this, we can make this. When I escaped, that psych, her house got raided because they were onto it, because she used to call me up every day, and I used to go and see her. They thought, no one needs to see a psych this much. There's got to be some sort of other connection that these two have other than seeing a psych daily. Like no one sees a psych this much. Like he might be crazy, he might be in the head, but he doesn't need to see her this much. How does corruption start? How it started with me was when I went to see her one day, she was eating chewing gum. So I asked for a piece of chewing gum. It's illegal. She said, if I go and get some paper and pens and the chewing gum's not on the table when I get back, I don't know where it's gone to. I'm unlucky, you know. So she went and done that. I took the chewy, you know. The next time, again, something small, you know, like chewy and a lighter. And then once that was tested and proven, obviously you increase with like, wait, listen, I got a mate, he's going to come and see you, can you do this? And that's how it starts. So it always starts off with something tiny and minimal, but then you sell to them like, listen, it doesn't matter if it's chewing gum or a mobile, like it's still illegal. So it's, oi, Susie, no way, thank you for the little Halloween ghost. So corruption works on many levels. Like it works on, we use it against them, they use it against us. But the most deadly form of corruption is officers using it against other inmates, like finding out their charges, putting other inmates or other races in yards that they shouldn't be in purposely because of whatever reason, or, you know, that happens so much as well. Not now, not these days, but when I first started going to jail, like officers back then were way more corrupt than they are today. Like, there's still corrupt officers. There was this officer at Parklea. Now, let me tell you about Parklea. Parklea is corrupt as Ukfe. We all know it, right? Proper blades, own phase, like they're private, but they're still governed by corrective services, right? But they're private. So the private officers, they're easier for some reason. They're easier to persuade and verbal, right? So it's me, Robin, Eshay, thank you, and Susie, thank you. So they're easier to persuade. This is why now Parklea has been shut down and is in a transitional phase, being handed back to corrective services by the 1st of October next year. Baby G, King Rumble, yeah, so... But yeah, so corruption at Parklea is massive, right? So we had this Ushgray, right? He was an Asian dude, and it was getting close to Christmas, and like the boys had him, and the boys, like, they had him, like fully had him, right? So he was Ingambray, what he had to bring in, right? But anyways, they done a pinch. They pinched him out the front, and when they pinched him out the front, they actually charged him and he got refused bail, right? Well, 3 days later, one of the boys come back from court and said, you're not going to believe who was in the cells at Surrey Hills when I got there. And the boys are like, what are you talking about? Like, he said, bro, you're not going to believe it, lad. They said, who? They said, you know that Asian screw that used to bring in all the Ilpays and all the upgrades and that? Bro, he's in the cells with us as an inmate, thinking he's Eatswa because he's like bringing in upgrades. And old mate said, lad, listen, you need to get the Ukfe out of this cell right now because you ain't an 8, mate. And just because you're doing what you're doing at Parklea for us and the boys doesn't give you the right to think that you're going to be eat smart, lad. You know, he had a full back tattoo. He was like full inked up. And he said the only difference between him and us was like he got out and chose to be one of them and help the boys that way, other than continue with the lifestyle his cousins and that had led and do and be like us fully. You know what I mean? He had that much confidence that he thought because he was doing upgrades for the boys that he was Eatswa to walk around in the main part of the ALJ, lad. Like, are you kidding me? You know, are you fucking kidding me? Like, seriously. So, yeah, corruption at Parklea is the worst jail for it. It's known. Corruption for Parklea is known to be the worst. I think that will calm down now once it goes back to corrective services. Corruption back in the day was way worse than it is now. Like, too many jails have too many cameras, too many officers actually are wanting to be officers. So I think the corruption isn't high, but it's there. And I'll tell you what's funny: the officers know which officers are corrupt. They know, they know what, even with the female screws and the sykes and that have an X say with all the boys, they know. Now I had a big pinch, like Tezza Sampson and all the boys, they were down there. They had a Ooskray down on at Nowra. They'd done a sting on the screw. He used to do the rubbish run, so he used to take the boys around with the bins. The boys used to put it in the bins and take the bins into the yard, walk out, leave it. So every yard had their distribution run. One day they were going down to get all the bins. The Ooskray was walking down with them. The screw had threw it into the bin because he had it on him. He threw it into the bin. The screws and the contage were hiding in an area so they could watch this move. And as soon as the Ooskray took it out and threw it into an in bay, they ran. They had the screw laying on the ground. They had all the inmates laying on the ground like a full sting. So that happened at Nowra with Terry Sampson and the Ike Bays. They were actually killing it with Ugdrays. Corruption down in jail is always going to be an issue because of the money. The officers that see the money that the boys make through the Snoopos or the Ugdrays, they're just normal. They just want part of it. They just want part of the fun, bro. Like, they actually just want part of the fun. The biggest fight I've seen in jail, bruh, like, fights don't go that long anymore in prison because, like, they break out in yards and they're over with quickly. If they break out in a cell, too many inmates stand around and make it look too obvious, and they stand there and look at the cell. Even though you can't see the fight, they stand there and look at the cell. The officers pick up on body language, and they don't last more than 35, 40 seconds. But one of the best fight I did see in a jail was in a yard, and the screws let it go. It was with Pete Buchanan and a bloke from our area in the city by the name of Louis Villami. Now, if you're from Woolo, you know who I'm talking about. Louis Villami was a kickboxer in Queensland and New South Wales, a heavyweight champion, Australian champion, national champion, like South Pacific champion, kickboxing. Why was he fighting in Queensland when he's from New South Wales? In Queensland, when you kickbox, you're allowed to use elbows and knees. In New South Wales, there's no elbows. So he would go to Queensland and fight and train under John Wayne Parr and all them boys up there because you could use elbows. Well, he's from our area, Woolloomooloo, in the city. And he got arrested, right? Dean Bars, yes, Shay, thank you very much. With the shout out, yes, Shay, lad. He got arrested and he came to jail. Well, Pete Buchanan was a serial unaliver in the New South Wales prison system as well, and he was also a big fair Koori, and he could bang, right? These both blokes had big names, both big punchers and good fighters, right? Christmas time come, they were at 10 Pod in Silverwater. Now you get desserts and it's like a tart, you know what I mean? It's like a little cake with raisins and like tart inside. Well, there was extras left over, right? Now, this is how the fight started, right? So most race wars, most fights, I'll tell you what they start over, and you'll be shocked to hear the damage human people do to other humans over what the actual reason is for this violence. It's crazy. The youth of today need to know most race wars start over the most minimal stuff available, where if it happened to you outside, you would walk away and laugh and it wouldn't affect your day. This was over a cake that you would eat in 2 bites. This is what happened. This is someone lost a tooth, got stabbed, and it was one of the biggest fights in New South Wales. Like, by the time that officers let it go, because it was that fair, that hard of a fight, even the officers thought, you very rarely see this, so we're going to let him go. And the squad let him go until Pete Buchanan pulled a blade out, and then they intercepted Pete and then stopped Pete from stabbing Louis, right? But until Pete grabbed the blade, they let him have 3 rounds. Pete only grabbed the blade because Louis knocked his tooth out, and Pete, having the reputation he did, thought, nah, fuck that, I'm not copping it, and grabbed the blade and tried to stab him, right? But so they're in the wing, they line up for their dessert, They get the dessert, there's extras, they both go to grab whatever they grab. There becomes a situation. Whoever pulls whoever out, it doesn't really matter, but someone pulls them out. So the other person obviously accepts. They go out into the yard, they shape up. Now the boys are standing back near the phone box and just on the corner of the walls. One wing's open, the other wing's not. Like in 9 and 10 pod, if you've been to Silverwater, you know how it works. If 10 pod's got the yard, 9 wings locked into the wing. If 9 wings got the yard, 10 pod's locked into the wing. So we had the yard, 9 pod didn't. So everyone's up against the window and they're in the cells watching because it was right near, just as soon as you walk out to the point part of the yard where the 2 wings meet, you get 2 doors and the yard starts and shapes off like a triangle, right? So they're right in the middle of where the 2 wings meet. So you've got 2 phones there. So they're right there. Bulu, thank you very much, my bro. I appreciate you. So Pete and Louis get into it right now. If they're standing right there, obviously the screws can see. The screws see the fight, right? They call the squad down. Pete and Louis don't stop for the 2 or 3 normal officers that are on. They're 2 big boys. And the hits you can hear and you can feel. You can feel the hits. Like, it's hard to explain, but if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. As you're standing there, you can feel the hits through the ground. You know what I mean? Like just the stomping and the punching. You know how you stomp to punch? Like you can feel it. So Louis and Pete are into it, and it was a fucking good fight, bro. It was like there was no stepping back. There was no stepping forward. It was Louis using kicks, Pete using hands, Louis using elbows, Pete using hands and headbutts, right? The squad come through. As they come running through and they realised it was a one-on-one, they stopped because both boys have a name in prison. They stopped and they said, boys, fucking break it up. And they didn't stop. Once they seen it was like, what? Chronicles of Chaos. Listen, he just reminded me, chat, tomorrow, Chronicles of Chaos and I are doing a podcast. So keep an eye out on his channel, Chronicles of Podcast. I'm going to drop it on mine as well. I've got a YouTube channel. So after he does it, records it, I'll get him to tag me in it. I'll put it on mine. I'll put it on his. Keep an eye out for this. It's a story of my life. What I've seen in prison, how I grew up in the prison system, how the prison system turned me into somebody I didn't want to be, and how today I still struggle with like knowing that side of me, if that makes sense. You sleep to get peace. I try to stay awake because that's when my torment begins. That's why. Thank you, my bro, for the bodyboard. Thank you for all the gifts. So you're going to hear some stuff that I haven't spoken about in detail and in contrast to my life. You're going to hear some stories that have never been told on my TikTok page. I'm going to take you deep into my life as an inmate in New South Wales prison system and as an inmate that had control of the brothers for a very, very long time. So get over to Chronicles, Chaos of Chronicles. Watch our podcast. Tomorrow I'm doing it. He will let you know when it will drop. But you need to get over there. Subscribe to him if you haven't. Subscribe to mine if you haven't. Because I tell you now, this is one interview you do not want to miss. This is one interview you do not want to miss. So you've been told here first. Chronicles. I look forward to doing that with you tomorrow, bro. And you think some of the stories you've heard now are crazy? Wait till I drop the rest. And my life is about to be an open book for all of you to dissect and listen to, and hopefully after you hear this, it will give you a bit of a better insight into who I am as a person and why I've committed some of the things I've committed, and how prison shaped me to be somebody that I grew to hate. And that's the honest truth. Prison made me become somebody I hated being, and I still struggle with that side of myself today because I still do things that I'm not proud of. I still treat people in a certain manner that I'm not proud of, and violence become my best form of communication. And because I come very good at communicating with violence, I used that in like in times when that probably wasn't the communication style that was needed, and how that led me into being into Supermax, into STG, and a gang leader for the brothers in New South Wales prison systems, and how that in turn then made me pick up a knife and become somebody that I didn't want to become. So keep an eye out for that. I'm doing it tomorrow. Unsure when it's going to drop, but if you want to watch it, you need to subscribe to both channels, and I'm sure you'll have a date. So back to Louis Villami and Pete Buchanan. So the squad come and they're banging and banging and banging, right? And it was a fight where at no stage anyone was winning. It was just like you just stood there and you just watched. Like it was one of them fights where it was it commanded the respect of, you know what, like just let him go for it. Don't even disrespect anybody by saying smash him Pete or smash him Louis. Just let these two slug it out. Oi, thank you boys for all the gifts. And this is what happened. And the squad stood there and let them fight. It got to a point where one would drop to his knee, the other one would step back. He would have a mouthful of water, he would wash his face. He would say, are you ready? Yeah, sweet. They'll go again, bang, 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 bang. Another person will drop. If it was the same person, it was the same person. If it wasn't and it was the other person, the same respect was given. Not one person ever kicked anybody when on the ground. What happened was this happened 3 times. Then, bang, Louis hit Pete with an elbow that knocked his teeth out, right? Pete, being Pete, thought this was a sign of him losing. Didn't matter about the 13 or 14 little, like seconds before that elbow. He just thought, you know what? Everybody's going to remember that I got my tooth knocked out, and I can't have that. I don't care if it was one of the best fights in the yard. I can't have anybody believe that I lost this fight because Louis knocked my tooth out. Him being a brother, him being a Trump at the time, he grabbed a blade. And this is when the squad jumped in and said, now we can't let that happen. And they grabbed Pete, they grabbed Louis, they took them both to Segro. I think they were going to both go to Segro anyway, but because the fight was that honest and that tough, even the officers admired it. Do you know what I mean? That was one of the best prison fights I've seen. The other best prison fight I've seen was with Shane Fenton and Anthony Hampton at Parramatta. That occurred over Jack Pritchard and Orb stabbing Anthony's brother Nick. Shane Fenton and Anthony had issues because Shane had done something to one of the brothers beforehand. Shane Fenton had always been a status in the Islanders at the time. He didn't care if you're Islander, Asian, Aussie, brother. If he had an issue with you, he was laying you out. Him and Hampo had to go at Parramatta. Philos, you were there when that happened. That was one of the best fights that I'd seen between a brother and an Islander. The screws come, they let it go. This fight needed to happen, and that's why I think no one else jumped in, because it was an actual personal matter for Anthony. And when Anthony and Shane bumped, it was on. Another good fight was Ren Quinlan and Wok Donovan back in 1997. Wok Donovan was known as the Dungutty Warrior. Ren also being from Kempsey. They had history and they had a past from the outside. Ren wanted to be a leader for the brothers. Wok was the leader. Wok hated Ren. I think Ren hated Wok. And Wok was in Segro at the time. This is why this fight stands out. Wok was in Segro at the time. Ren was at Long Bay. Wok knew Ren was out in the yard, and he used to tell the boys all the time, "What's that Ogday doing? Tell that Ogday I'm going to crush him. Tell this I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that." So Wok knew he had dramas with Ren, so he couldn't say it was never warranted or it was unexpected, because what Wok did was gangster. He was coming from Segro to the clinic to get his medication. For some unknown reason, maybe corruption, who knows? But for some unknown reason, when Wok come out of Segro to go to the clinic, they didn't stop movements and they didn't shut gates. Ren was walking through a gate at the time Wok was coming out of the gate, and they happened to be in the same part. Two screws were walking with Wok, but they were talking amongst each other. They didn't have hold of the handcuffs, and they didn't even have him handcuffed. I don't know why this was. Read into it any way you want. Read into it any way you want. I can't make judgment, but he's coming from Segro. He's got no cuffs on. He's coming from Segro. They're not holding the cuffs. He's coming from Segro. They haven't shut the jail down or lock yards or gates where Segro can't mix. The whole thing about being in Segro is you can't stop and talk to someone. You can't be given anything. You can't, you just can't, you're with the officer, you're handcuffed, you're shackled, and you move from point A to point B and straight back to point A, right? That's it. And in between, people are locked in, yards are shut, and you do not associate with anyone. All protocol was broken when they moved Wok from Long Bay Segro to Long Bay Clinic. Ren ended up in a position where Wok could see him. Wok ran at Ren, Ralph Quinlan. Wok ran at him. Ren had no other option but to stand there and fight. Now, Wok and Ren were both big hitters. A rumour went around later that Ren started to climb a fence to get away. I never seen that part of the fight. I never actually seen that part of the fight. I can't say if that happened or not. But if someone's listening to the story, I'm sure you're going to throw that into the comments or the chat. Everybody says Wok got Ren, and this was a personal fight. They reckon that fight also was one of the best fights that was in a yard. Again, another fight that involved Wok that was a good fight in the yard was with the Islander Trump and Moses. Back in the day, Moses was a machine. Wok and Moses had a fight in 7-yard Goulburn when Goulburn was open and not segregated. I wasn't there for that fight, so I can't really talk on it, but that fight gets an honourable mention because I've heard about that fight over and over and over and over and over again from all other brothers, and even Islanders like Dave Tafua, Mick Heron, Tully, and Tully in his own right was a banger. Like, he was an Islander bloke. He was a banger. Ray Johnson, he was a banger. He was a Fijian. So that Moses and Wok, that gets an honourable mention. So yeah, but see today, them fights don't occur. Fights like that don't occur. Back when yards and jail were proper, where you would go into a yard and there'll be 600 inmates and you would have wing access and yard access, them fights have more chance of happening and lasting than having 60 people in a wing where officers have control of it and can see into the wing and you can't go and hide and have a proper fight. So today, fights aren't that long, and this is why I believe weapons are used, because you want to inflict as much pain and as much damage as you can within the 60 seconds you have, other than trying to scrap somebody with your hands and being pinched for it and having the same result going to Segro for 14 days. So this is why I believe weapons are used more regularly and more often for assaults when the assault doesn't warrant a weapon. Do you know what I'm saying? Where it just warrants a punch in the head or a jumping on the head or whatever it is. But I believe, and my train of thought was, and this is how I used to think, I'm going to use an ice bottle or a knife because I want to inflict as much pain as I can, as quick as I can before they get here, other than just using my hands and inflicting pain anyway. And that's what I believe weapons are used because of. But I was about to say something and I've lost my train of thought. I was going to say something about a fight, but I lost my train of thought because people jumping in my live tonight has actually it rattled me a bit. So tonight the live's been a little bit all over the place, bro. Do you know what I mean? It's actually It's actually been all over, yeah. But yeah, what was I going to say? Fuck, I never lose my train of thought, bro. Yeah, so like weapons. Hey, that's right. Oi, straight facts. SJ, thank you, bro. Legit joined. SJ, thank you very much. Oi, chat. Listen, I'm gonna. Oi, brah. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, the Robin210. Oh, that's Nick. Yeah, oi, that fight with Ren and Wok. Yeah, bro. Convict. Yeah, bro. Oi, grumpy native, Eshay lad, thank you, bro. But yeah, that was yeah. Oh, how? Yeah, that's right. Oi, listen, that's right. How to wars the wars, yeah. So if you knew, yeah, short ball, bang, inside off the hip, lad. Well, you heard that call a couple of times. Listen, war, how can you explain how tensions came with Ren and Wok after he grabs a blade? Like, does he go again? Yeah, wait. Ren and Wok. Ren didn't. Wok didn't use a blade on Ren. Wok just used his hand. I think the tension was because they were both looking for a Trump status, and they're both from the same area. And I think that just grew hate. And yeah, that was just yeah. It wasn't a long fight. No, it was a short fight. Yeah, convict, you know it. Is it true about the fence then? Wait, convict. Is Amy fit, lad? Is Amy is Amy fit, lad, or did you just use her? I don't know who Amy is, Mards. Who's Amy? No, never. Oh, I did once, bro. Yeah. What about Ralphie? Yeah. Oh, Pete. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nah, that stopped after that. Oh, hey, I'm a sniff you. Thank you. Yeah, 100%. Wait, Jess, what's happening? Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I've become somebody that I didn't want to become to survive a system that I didn't want to be in, bro. So, oh yeah, yeah. Amy the psych, yeah. How was you coming up in graphing? Yeah, it was good, bro. I was one of the best graphers in Sydney. Nah, so what happened was when I escaped, they went and raided her house. And yeah, like so that she ended up pulling the pin on the job, and I never ever seen her again, bro. Yeah, and it was never to be like a long term thing anyway. Do you know what I mean? It was just that's what that's what unfolded at the time, and that's what unfolded. But talking about how the war start. Wait, man, you're too white and too clean cut for this SJ crap. Boy, boy, boom, Rod. I'm glad my appearance fools you, bro. That means I'm doing the right thing if wait, text me, Jess. Text me. But yeah, to who won Moses and Wok? Oh, bruh, babyface kills. You know it, Grumpy, eh? I think Wok, but don't hold me on it. I wasn't there. Yeah, Kieran's my cousin. Yeah, I did do. Yeah, Kieran's my cousin, and I did do time with him. Better than the FIFA. Yeah, 100%. But wait, listen. If I told you what the war started over, yeah, I will now. Yeah, yeah. All right. Oh yeah. Oh wait. Tell him, please jump on. Bad for you live. Tell everyone, please. Everyone is going. Yeah, sweet. I will now. Yeah, done. I'll do that now. Bad for you. Oh, now my sister's in the chat. She just sent me a message. Her name is Jessica, not Rose. That's my sister. I grew up with her for like 20 plus years, so she's just gone through something that's been very traumatic in her family. And oi, ET, I am, bro. And she's just gone through something very, very traumatic in her family. Her niece was killed by a hit and like a car accident. It wasn't hit and run actually, but it was a car accident. And oi, Carly, how are we? Are you? No way. Thank you for joining, man. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you having part of the 210 family. Yeah, so I've known her for 20 plus years. I was very good mates with one of her first boyfriends. He was part of 210. She's going through something that is very, 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 very distressing for her family. So whoever's coming at her and giving her grief on here, bruh, like seriously, lad, like seriously, like she doesn't hurt anybody. Like she gets on here and she does her thing, but yeah, I know, no, main 68, yeah. It's just, bruh, like she's not in a good space at the moment, and to attack somebody or to hurt somebody or to come at them when they've lost their 5-year-old niece, that's not gangster, bruh. That is 24K gold. Yeah, bro. 100, thank you very much, all in one. That's not gangster, bro. Like that's actually opposite to gangster, really. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's TikTok, bro. Like it's TikTok. Like nothing's that serious when it comes to a 5-year-old girl that's passed away, and like she's out here sharing her story, and she's like, like grieving and venting. Like, bro, yeah, bro, 100%. That's horrible. Yeah, yeah. She's got to go, and she's going through it on her own, bro. So, like I ride with her. Like I said, I was best mates with her first boyfriend. Even though they're not together anymore. Like she was with him for a while, and she was my mate. Yeah, and like yeah, I love you, Jess. I'm sorry that yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm sorry you got to go through this, Jess. You know that I ride with you. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's a shit go, bro. Shit go. He's drunk. He was drunk yesterday when I met him. Guys, look at my video and leave a comment. Trust. Yeah. Story time. Yeah. So sending love and strength. Yeah, Buller, you're a legend, bro. You're a legend. So listen, this is what happened, right? Race wars. The start and the end of a race war. This is what you want to know? All right, let me tell you, race wars. Oi, Huxley G, you're a legend, bro. Much love. Melbourne Heath, Joe Mo, I love you all. Yeah, no, yeah, Nibbles, yeah. Was he in Rudy Hill or something? Matty. Oi, thank you, D. Matty. So listen, start of a race war. All right, you're gonna spin out, bro. Now, picture this. Picture this, right? You're about to go to war with another race, okay? And I'm about to tell you that you're about to do this to another race. Being a Trump or a Trump is about to tell you you're doing something to another race, and this is the plan. You take a day before you do it. You're in a cell. Thank you, straight facts. You go to a cell. You talk about your game. You talk about your plans, and you implement them the next day. All right? Really, be man. Thank you very much, bro. You have in your mindset extreme punishment with extreme violence in the most least amount of time. So you grab a weapon, a bottle, whatever, and you plant and you hide it into a yard or a jail, all right? You now go into a cell with your people and you talk about who you take out first, who must be got first, what must be happening to them people, and then we deal with everybody else, all right? Because everybody's got hitters, and it doesn't matter if there's only 3 or 4 of them, there'll be one person that is capable of being a hitter, all right? So 2 or 3 people, you're going on him straight away. This is it. Bang. You 3 take him, we'll deal with the rest. Bulu, bang, all right? Yeah. So you're planning to actually go to war and violate another human violently, right? No one ever asks, what's it over, bro? What are we doing this for, bro? No one questions anything. What's going on, bro? All right? 9 times out of 10, a race war is over a one-on-one fight, where somebody feels like some race has now been put on show and we need to retaliate, because that's what it's about. It's about showing force. It's about showing like, if you hurt one of us, we're going to hurt 5 of yous. But you know what it's over? It's over a $50 ill day that hasn't been paid. It's over a buy-up that hasn't been paid for a $50 ill day. It's over like pushing in on a phone because he was arguing with his girl and this bloke thinks he's been put on show. It's over the most minimal arguments ever. There has never been a race war over he's in jail because he done this to my family outside and we need to retaliate. Or he done this to me outside and we need to retaliate. Like, there's never, thank you, Yanak Noah. There has never been a significant reason for all this violence that went on for 8 or 9 years other than retaliation. That's the fact of a race war, bro. If you knew what a race war was over, I guarantee you probably wouldn't participate, because you are about to possibly take another man's life, because that's what is actually being planned here. Like, you are actually planning on putting a piece of steel into someone's eye, neck, chair, whatever it may be. And this is what I'm trying to tell the youth of today. What you are doing with these weapons over reasons that you think is like worthy of this is crazy, because I've been there and I've done it and I've seen people get 33 years for it. And I can guarantee you now, if you spoke to these people that have done 33 years over a jail stabbing, that was over something as minimal as, bruh, like, he didn't pay me, I give him an ifty fay lad and he didn't give me my buy-up. Like, I'm not an encre lad, no, I'm not copping that, bruh. So, bang, we had a go. What happens when you have a go? Yeah, like, he beat him. They don't want to cop that, so they jump him while he's at the one jail. Word now travels to this jail saying, oi, they just jumped Ara at fucking Silverwater. Who did? Oh, the Asians. What? Eatswa. We go into a cell. We say, listen, whatever Asians in this pod tomorrow, bro, we're getting them, lad. Yeah, Eatswa. Take this, take that, take this, and then bang. So tomorrow we are now going out with the intentions of hurting every single Asian in this pod. None of us know why we're hurting any of these Asians. We just got hate in our heart now. Why? Because there's something detached in us, right? And that's like, whatever. Yeah, but there's something detached in your heart where you are that capable of going to war and hurting somebody over no reason at all, because someone's just told you to do that. If you ever got down to the reason of why a race war was about to happen, you probably wouldn't want to be in the cell to start with. And you'll probably be thinking, this is childish, bro, and this is stupid, and this is not worth what's about to happen. Do you know what I mean? This is not worth what's about to happen. Like the Goulburn race, listen, Goulburn riots. One of the brothers, well, 3 of the brothers actually, hit a screw in the head with the didgeridoo, right? Because we needed to show the screws that we're a force to be reckoned with. Why? Because they come and took rabbit ears out of cells. So, see Goulburn, D-Wing, you didn't have a coax cable in the wall. Everyone knows what a coax cable is. A coax cable is this, right? Like that. That's the coax cable, right? So, you can watch your TV, yeah? Well, that's what happens in a jail cell. You got a coax cable in your wall so you can watch a TV, right? At Goulburn, you had to use rabbit ears, right? So the jail at Goulburn went through and took all the rabbit ears out of the brothers' cells. Then if we were getting short-staffed, the brothers will get locked in. So the brothers thought, you know what, we're not copping this shit, lad. We're going to war with the screws. Now we're having a race war with the officers, bro. Simple. This is what it turned out to be. It was a race war with the officers, right? We're not copping this, bro. They're putting us on show, lad. They think we're fuckwits, lad. All right, sweet. This is what we're doing, boys. So boys have a big meeting in the yard and says, tomorrow, lad, the last one in, like, lock the gate so the Oosgrays can't get up, and we're going to turn it on, right? Sure enough, Eatswa, this is what we're doing. Everyone wants to stick together. Everyone thinks it's a good cause. Everyone thinks, yeah, we're not getting treated like this. Half the boys don't know what's going on. They're just riding with the brothers because that's what you do. You ride with your people, right? The brothers go on with it the next day. They hit a Urshkray in the head with a didgeridoo. They full wreck him. He becomes like mush, bro. Like, the worst thing for the brothers is that they didn't kill him. That was the worst thing for the brothers. If they would have killed him, they probably would have got less. But because the judge could see how the screw turned out, they got 33 years for it. But we went to war, and one of the brothers got 33 years over the screws taking rabbit ears out of cells. Like, see how it went to the extreme straight away, and there was no other option other than violence. And this poor brother is now doing 33 years because he got stuck with being the last one up and had to do what he had to do. And then he's out now. He's done his jail. But that's my point. Like, half these race wars at start were over nothing at all. And if it happened to you today in the world of like where we are now, you're just going about your daily business, and it wouldn't affect you in the slightest, bro. But because it happened to you in prison, and it's all about, he's put me on show, bro. I've got a name to protect. Well, all right then, bro. Yeah, sweet. What do we like? Nah, fuck this, bro. We got to look like we stand together, bro. We can't let him get away with this, bro. We can't let him get away with this, bro. We need to do something, bro. We need to do something. All right, sweet. And then everybody G's everybody up, and then it's on. Before you know it, people are getting stabbed, people are in hospital, people are like being charged in courts, people are in Segro, people aren't getting visits anymore, all because he didn't pay a $50 buy-up deal, or he didn't pay his debt with the buy-up, or he jumped on the phone first, or he looked at him the wrong way and he punched him in the mouth, and then someone tells a different story, and then 5 jails later it's a Chinese whisper and it's a whole wrong story, but now it started a race war. Do you know what I mean? So every race war after the original race war was retaliation, bro. It was not anything other than, there was no other incident that kicked it off. It was just pure hatred for this other race now, and every time we get into a jail or they come into our jail, we're going to attack them. Why? Now it's starting to be a show of dominance and a show of force. That's it. There's no other reason anymore. We haven't got a reason to be attacking you still, but like, you ain't stronger than us, and we are going to be the dominant force in the New South Wales prison system, and we're going to keep on controlling you when we want to control you. So we'll go to war every time we got the numbers, and we're going to do this to you. That's it. If you sat down people and said, what do you go to war for in 2004 with the brothers at Stoker, I'm just checking in, at Silverwater, the one that's posted on my story, they'll be like, I don't know. Like every other brother that was involved in a war, like, they don't know the reason. There is no reason for it. So every race war that I've been involved in has been minimal, and then retaliation, and that's the fact. You know what I mean? Like there was one event, and the rest is just retaliation. Like, we would go to Park Lee, and because we're Aboriginal, they'll attack us because we got one of them at Bathurst. And that's the way it worked. Then they'll come to Bathurst, and because they got us at Park Lee 6 months ago, we're getting them. That's it. And then it was just a domino effect, and it was always a show of force. That was it. Like, you are going to fear us, and until you fear us, we'll keep doing what we have to do to make you fear us. And they thought the same thing about us. Every time you come here, you're gonna fear us, and we're gonna do what we have to do for you to fear us. And bro, that's why the race wars went on for so long. And how did it end? How did it end? No one knows, bro. No one ever sat down and said, let's have a truce. Let's stop this. Let's go and do jail now. Like, I declare peace on your people declare peace on my people. Nah, it never happened like that. That's how a war usually stops. Like, we withdraw. Yeah, you withdraw or whatever. No one formally said, I withdraw. No one formally said, listen, it's finished. I think it just grew out. Different generations come through. They segregated jails, and it just started to die out, bro. So, most race wars, bro, have no meaning to why. Yeah, there's no meaning to why that race war should have occurred. But anyways, chat, listen, look, it's late. I didn't even level up again. I don't know how we level up, eh? I honestly don't know. Oi, whoa, cola. Well, I don't know how we level up, bruh. I honestly don't know how we level up. So, oi, Matty, oi, Rob. Yeah, TikTok, Doonside. Yeah, you're right. Doonside. What did I say, Rudy Hill? No, you're right. Yeah, yes. Nibbles, yeah. End up doing Lapa to Lexo, bruh. Oi, what, the run? The king, Dwayne. Hey, what's happening, Dwayne? The knight is watching, yeah. Oi, Jimbo, 100%. Yeah, bro, please do. Tavern story, yeah, bro. Tomorrow I got a tavern story for you, Jack. Well, Yannick, nah. Oi, the past Duffy's, I was waiting for you. Like, I was there on my own, bro. Oi, but Will, Alex is back. He come back into Maroubra like 2 days ago. Been traveling the world, like, gets out of ALJ, travels the world, and now lands back in Maroubra. Oh, what a smooth one! Yeah, so I'm gonna go and see him too, bro. No, there was one at Lithgow, bro. Was that? Oi, Dean, what's happening, bro? Yeah, at Lithgow, yeah, yeah. Like, and that's talk of see. Oi, listen again. The Asians and Kouris at Silverwater, yeah. But oi, listen, talking about corruption earlier. How do you think all these fights occur in Supermax? Like, listen, I've been to Supermax. I was in Supermax with Mobtana. I was in Supermax with Triggs, and I was in 7 wing, right? The boys were in 8 and 9 wing. There's 3 wings in Supermax, right? How do you think one of the most recognisable names in New South Wales prison system, Bassam Hamsey, can be attacked more than 3 or 4 times in the most secure prison in New South Wales? Do you understand what the process is like to get exercise time with somebody else in Supermax? Do you want me to explain to you how you get exercise time with another inmate in Supermax? You just don't walk into a yard with this person. You don't just get let into a yard with this person. There's a whole procedure for months before I get in the yard with Bassam. I don't just knock on Bassam's door and say, "Oh, do you want to come to the yard today, bro? Because I'm bored." That doesn't happen, bro. Nah, it does not happen. What happens is you got to put in an application, then you want to do an exercise with him, and then, yeah, crazy, right, Jimbo? Then you want to do an exercise time with him, then they'll do an intel check, and then they'll check that you have no dramas, and then they'll approve it, and then you go to the yard with him. Like, there's months of checks, bro. Corruption is even in the most highest prison, bro, Supermax. People get thrown in yards all the time. Bruh, yeah, 100% TikTok boom, yeah. Oh, fuck, I think he's got like, yeah, oh, Elizabeth, yeah, that's, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I think he's got 8 or 9 years left, Yannick. I spoke to Bass, like I didn't have any dramas with Bass. I spoke with Bass, we weren't on a friendship level, but I spoke to him and he respected me, I respected him. But yeah, 100, wait, Will, fuck yeah, bro, inbox me, bro, yeah. Yeah, Montana, yeah, 150k. Tavita, Eshay, lad, we did it. We made 100. They have to. They won't let him out of Supermax because he can't go anywhere. Fevo, bro, he turned into be Fevo ended up giving BFL up, bro. Yeah, why not? I've got no dramas with Bass, bro. I've never have. Oh, Michaela. Yeah, Fevo, yeah. Fevo ended up telling on, listen, Fevo, he got bashed by one of the Islanders, right? Because I think he almost tried to take an eye out of one of Triggs' mates. Triggs referee to go, and Fevo got bashed by the Islander, right? Yeah, he's in Canberra, PJ, yeah. And then he was known to be a bit of a blade runner. He went into the yard. Is he in Nowra now? Yeah. Yeah. Huxley all day, bro. The Syrian Ollie, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know him that well, bro. But this is what I'm saying about Feather. He wanted a bit Conrad Craig. He done the same, Piercy. You know that, bro. He done the same, bro. He give him up about that Erdemay in Glenfield, cuz. Yeah, he was in Nowra, yeah. No, he's gone to Canberra. Yeah. But he ended up telling on BFL, Conrad Craig, and this is what I'm saying. Dwayne Johnson, anyone in particular you had ultimate respect for, and if so, why? Yeah, bro, you know. So yeah, Michaela, it's all true. Yeah, it's all true. Yeah, yeah. Conrad Craig and gave BFL up. Boy, PJ, he was at one stage. Yeah, the fan belt. Thank you, bro. He was at one stage. Febo was about it. They bumbled it. Yeah, TikTok. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I didn't think it would either, D. Like, they dismantled themselves, bro. You know why? I can't really talk on them. Are you taking a dad cars or car? No, yeah, no, wait, Snape vape. The vape. Yeah, bro, 100%. Yeah, listen, to do what he did, yeah, nah, wait, bro. It looks that way, eh? I lean out. Yeah. But if we do it on here, you get restricted. But to do what he did, he's about it. But then the life got real, bro. And this is what I'm saying, even for Fevo and for everybody else. And this is for the youth of today. Everybody's about it till the life gets real, bro. Yeah, I don't know about that. I can't, Michaela, I don't know about that, eh? I'm unsure of how it's turned out for Fevo, but I know at one stage he wasn't, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, bro. Listen, he runs amok wherever he goes. Like he's still a blade runner. He still will do what he needs to do, I suppose. But at the end of the day, like, yeah, he's still not scared. Exactly right, Johnny. That's the best way to say it. He's still not scared. Exactly right. I think he owns what he did. You know what I mean? Yeah, I got charged with Phil Jarrett Bulldog. Phil Jarrett's my Cowie. Yeah, yeah. He's passed away now, but yeah, Johnny, 100. I agree, bro. 100%. Oh, did ya? Yeah, yeah. All him. I was like, yeah, bro, yeah. And you know what they did when Phil Jarrett died? Yeah, R.I.P., bro. Yeah, so me and him got charged with a murder together, bro. Right? Anyways, yeah, damage 100%. I was waiting for you to do that all in one. The smokes. I knew you were going to do that. I just know. But when he was dying, you know what the jail did? They released him to Port Macquarie Hospital so they didn't have a black deaths in custody in jail and have to have an inquest. But they killed Phil Jarrett. They killed him. Oi, Cass, thank you. They killed him. They didn't treat his cancer. He said that he knew there was something wrong with him. And then bad dogs, bro. Yeah, bad dogs. And then they sent him home, and just so they didn't have a black death in custody and have to have an inquiry and an inquest into why. Oh, bro, there's heaps. No worry. Oh, what? What the Hayes train? What is it? Hayes? Super fan. Adam joined. But yeah, so like, bruh, yeah, I do know Gavin Bell, bro. He shot at Daly in the face. Yeah, well, they sent Ivan to hospital as well, bro. Yeah, the worst one that tops them all. Oh, yeah, bro, there's heaps shifty hefts. There's heaps. Oh, no way. Yeah? I didn't know that. It's me, Robin. I didn't know that. No way. I might have to do that. Yeah, oi, I'm a sniffy. Yeah, it did. Oi, yeah. So my clothing line did drop. ROBIN210official.com. It's got shirts and a coffee mug there now. I've got female clothing coming soon in the next, hopefully, month. No, he wasn't all in one. Nah. So get across to Robin210 official. Click on my link that's in my bio on my TikTok page. We'll take you straight over there. Get on, order it. Rock the 210. Become part of the 210 family because that's what we are. We ain't a gang, we're a family. Yes, I did. The small twins from Newer, yeah. I thought they were from Lapa, but yeah. Yeah, there are some. I've got some podcasts happening. Yeah, no, I'm going through surgery. I'm getting screw-ins in. So I've got the tops done. Now they're healed. Now I get the bottoms done. Oh fuck, bro. Right. Probably at Windsor. Me and Dion Mason were there. Me and Dion Mason were at Windsor. That was probably the last time I seen Bud. Yeah. Yeah, bruh. Nangai was a weapon. Nangai bashed Ren Quinlan, bruh. At Erskineville. Erskineville. It's called Midas Dental. Oi, see Nangai? We're gonna go suss it before bed, sleep. Listen to him. What's your channel? Just your TikTok name? Yeah, so go type in Robin210 and everything on TikTok will come up, bro. Go and meet him. Azza Johnny187. Who's that, bro? Azza who, sorry? Yeah, oi, Midas Dental, bro. Go out there, see them, bro. They're the best. Yeah, I have, bro, yeah. Yeah, oi, he does. I was just talking to Spanian the other day. Oi, Dwayne, thank you very much, eh? Yeah, bro. What? Bro, listen. What happened with Nangai? I'm going to tell you that story tomorrow, but I'll give you a quick taste about what Nangai and Ren did, bro. So Nangai had a fight with Ren in the yard over a volleyball, right? And Ren, something happened, and Ren done something to the volleyball, and Nangai pulled him out, right? And then Nangai bashed him in the yard, right? And Ren was so embarrassed and shocked that he didn't think that Nangai would bash him like that, right? Because Ren had a name back then. So then Ren said, "We'll come into the cell when we get locked in for lunch. Come to the cell." Ren wrapped his hands up and put something in his hands, and R.I.P. Nangai, bro. Put something in his hands, and him and Nangai like went into the cell, and Nangai said, "Bro, I swear he had something in his hands," but Nangai still went in there. But yeah, like in the yard, Nangai punched the piss out of Ren, bro. Like bashed him, and everyone will say that. Yeah. Was Ren with Rebs? Nah, Renal Quinlan, nah. But he could have been. Ren the boxer. No, that's his son, bro. That's his son. Me and him are very, very close, bro. I love that. I love young Ren, eh? He's mad. I talk to him now. Oi, Jason Welder, what are you doing, cuz? Yeah. Yeah, oi. Yeah, why not, bro? Or at least they'll be proper kebabs. No, I don't, bro. Dwayne210. Bro, Oz, what's my plans for the future? I want to get this clothing company up and running. I want to, I want to take the energy that I've put into jail into a business, bro. Yeah, bro, 100%. Yeah, wait, 210 kebabs isn't, yeah, 100%, bro. 100%, 100%. Oh, yeah, that's all in the future, bro. Anything's possible now. Chat, you've given me a platform to drop a clothing line. So if I can start this, like with your backing and you out there buying them and purchasing stuff like this, bro, anything's possible, like you're the people that make this possible for me, you know what I mean? No, I didn't do jail with Nath, bro. I've done Segra with Nath, but not jail. Oi, D, I appreciate that, bro. And that's what it's all about. And that's what I'm trying to tell the youth today. Everything that occurs in prison isn't gangster. It's out of stupidity. It's actually out of stupidity. Oi, thank you very much, bro. I appreciate you being in the chat. I appreciate your kind words and your support, bro. Yeah, C-Town, baby. I appreciate that, bro. 100. I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, so yeah, it's very, very hard, bro. And I've just learnt that out now. the money that you got to put into it, the stress, the time, you know. Yeah, he's passed away too, Fatty Howlett, bro. Yeah, Buller, yeah, he passed away too. Did I miss any stories of others behind the walls? Yeah, yeah, it's dropped now, Seatown. There's shirts and that out now, bro. You go to Robin210 official and yeah, mum and I. Yeah, they do. Wait, listen. If you ever catch one of them in jail, Robin, like there's unwritten rules. Listen, there's unwritten rules, and if it's SA, old women and kids, they get hurt with. No way. Yeah, I need to talk to you, VK. Yeah, yeah, bro. Go, bro. Yeah, yeah, bro. If the heaviest of the heaviest got killed or arrested, the CIA is too much. Yeah, 100%, bro. They're crazy now. They're crazy. They're crazy. But listen, chat. Look, tonight has been up and down, up and down, up and down. We had people trying to get into the live because I had my multi-guest thing on. They are putrid, yeah, 100%, and they deserve everything. So I switched that off now, so they can't do that. I didn't even know I had that on. But yeah, I love yous. Thank you for the support tonight. Thank you for trying to get me to A League. We'll come back and we'll do it again tomorrow. If you ain't tapping, you're a lacking. If you ain't talking, you're a stalking. If you're down, hang around. If not, what the fuck you watch for? Yalla yalla. Night, my bro. We ain't a gang. We're a family. It's Robin210. You know who it is. This is a real takeover. Watch this space. Bazza Southwest, I love ya. O Block Troy 600, S-shape, bruh. Listen, O Block just got out, lad. Go and show him some love. Support him. He's been banned for 3 days. Go and show O Block some love. Go and see what he's up to. All in one, I love ya. TikTok boom, Triple OG. Yalla yalla. Da. I'll have one right now for you. Oi, Huxy, I appreciate you, bro, and all your support. Big ups, bro, to everyone. Big ups to you all. Again, chat, listen, I could not do any of this if you weren't behind me. So I appreciate you spending your nights with me every night, coming in, having a chat, listen to my stories. I hope I can reach one of the young fellas out there. It's not a life you want to live. It's actually not gangster. It's stupidity. If you think you're a gangster being told what to do, you got it twisted, bro. You understand? Do you hear the ironic, like how ironic that sounds? If you think you're a gangster by being given orders to do something, you've got the word gangster mixed up with whatever you think gangster is, bro. Because, yeah, bro. Wait, that's right. Never above you, never below you, bro. Always right beside you. That's it, bro. Never, but that's what I used to do with my cell cards. You know what I mean? I used to put them never above you, never below you, right beside you, my girls. Oi, I love ya. All right, chat. I'm out. Respect always. Take care. I'll see you here tomorrow. Until then, sending love and respect to each and every one of you as always. Thank you again for the support. Tomorrow, 9 o'clock, I've got a burner of a story for you. It's about jail first and then graphing. We're going to do some graph stories tomorrow. We're going to get into some graphing. Much love again. You hang up. No, you hang up. You hang up. Oi, love yous. Oi, it's Robin210, lad. Catch, his name is here to stay. Just a real takeover. Oi, Robin210official.com. Go and check out my clothing line. Buy yourself a shirt. To all the women out there, I apologise, but there will be when this women clothes lines drop, he's going to want it. He's going to need it. He's actually need it, women. The leggings, the tights, the crop tops, the sports bras. It's the best. So until then, hang up. I'm hanging up then. Love yous. Later, Bolt. Robin, hang up. She's